In this video, we will go through how to design a very basic schematics using a free tool called KiCAD. Uh, I will not go into the details of downloading and installing it. It should be fairly very simple. The advantage of KiCAD is it's a free tool and it's very easy to use. Of course, there is a learning curve initially, but it's not as steep as other more exotic tools like maybe Allegro or something. So to start this using this tool, once you have installed it, just open the KiCAD. It's available for um, so I have this KiCAD open, but you could also go to the computer and type KiCAD, and then it opens up something like this. So what we are trying to do is, in this one I already have a schematic something like this, which you can see right here. It's a very simple schematic. What it does is, but it does some function. We have a 2-pin header, and if you supply the power to this 2-pin header through this LED, through this resistor, then the LED D1 will glow. It does have some function, and then we want to design this schematic. So I'll close this. So first thing we do is we go to file, and then new, we create a new project, or we can do control N, and let's say I have on the desktop I create a project, let's say LED project uh, KiCAD. That's the name of my project, and then I save it. So if you see here, right here, it creates 3 files: LED project KiCAD.pro, it's a project file, and under this there are 2 main files. One is a schematic file and the other is a PCB file. In this video we will focus on the schematic. Maybe the next to this we will also try to create a video for the PCB design. So if you double click this, let's explore this, what's there in this desktop, and let's look at this LED file and what it contains. So this is the LED project KiCAD. You can see these are the 3 files that it generates: the project file, the schematic file, these two are the one that we will deal with, and the PCB file that has an extension .KiCAD underscore PCB. That's something we will deal later on. And I'm still learning this, so I wanted to um, upload anything that I learn as I go. So double clicking this schematic, this thing takes you to this kind of a canvas which is empty for now, and you can see on the bottom right we have a some empty space. You can this is the file name, it's already there: led underscore project underscore KiCAD .sch, and the sheet size is A4. There's no date still here. It's created using KiCAD version 5.1.5. You can put a revision here. So for the start with, let's put a title here. You can do it using place, and maybe what's that? This graphic, called something called graphic text. I go to click and I click it in simple LED, and I can make my text a little bigger, like 2, and maybe bold. This is how it looks like. I keep it simple LED. I can edit it if I want to make it bigger. I can edit it, and I can make this text size maybe 3 mm. 3. This looks to look a little bigger than the face, so I change it back to 2 mm. It looks good. So nothing, just to get it into this. So now I come back to here. There's some navigation thing that you want to get familiar with. This is the zoom out, go, and this is the zoom in. This is for example, I zoom it bigger, but I want to redraw. This is the redraw schematic view. This is the fits in the complete zoom in. If you want to zoom a particular section, for example, this bottom right hand side, you can do it like this way. So these are the some zooming things. Get familiar with this thing. Now the next thing I want to do is let's start placing the component that I showed in this earlier schematic. And there are multiple ways you can do it. You can click on this sphere, which uh, which is something like you can do it from here, place, and then call symbol, or you could also do it using Shift A. That's the hotkey for placing some component over there. So I do place symbol initially, and then I click something there. Then the first time it starts loading a symbol libraries. Create a list of the component that you want to place into it, and you are prompted with this one. And you could either start searching for this, for example, resistor and R or something like that. It'll crop up here. But if you don't know this, after a little while, you will know there are a huge number of libraries sorted by these functions. So I would, the one for the resistor is in something called devices, and you will know it after using it a few times. And then the devices, there are many passive devices like C's for capacitor, buzzer, battery, and so on and so forth. You scroll down, you see starting with R is a resistor. Uh, let's see, this is here. When you click on this, you see this R right here. Double click this, and then you can place the resistor somewhere here and zoom it to see how it looks like. Maybe something like this. So we got the resistor, and then the next thing you want to place is the LED. So I click on place and symbol, and then again click it. Will again pops up this symbol. Then I just write LED, and if I'm lucky, whatever I search for, it pops up, and then I click on OK, and then I place it somewhere here, and I'm end this tool. So before I move on, I want to rotate this LED, so I click on here, and then I click R, so it rotates here. I rotate it the way I want it, and then it's here. Now if I want to move it right under the resistor, so I click on this LED and I click on M for move, and then I place it somewhere below this to align this. I could also do this move thing for here, resistor also. I click on move, maybe I align it here wherever I find it fit here, and I place it. So the next thing I want to do is place a power pin, something like a VCC here. So I go to place, and then I click on power port. I click here, and then I can just write VCC to search for it. It gets here, or I can create my own whatever. I click on VCC, and then I place it right here for the VCC. For the ground symbol, I again do it's a power port means it's a power as well as ground. And I just write search for ground. See how easy it is to use the KiCAD. They made it very user friendly. I click on ground, and then I click it right here, so that places the ground plane. The next thing I want to do is to connect these things with wire, and for which we have a symbol right here, the place wire thing. I click on this one, and then I click on one point here, the other is here. And then I keep on doing things. I can end the tool, then I again click here. I can again keep on joining this thing, and then finally hit one. Now I also want to now place a connector, a 2-pin header here. So I go to place symbol, and then click somewhere here. It pops up this. I go to the library folder called connector, and then I'm guessing which one would be the best fit for a kind of a 2-pin header. uh, I don't see anything here, but maybe this one, connector 1x2 male header. I click on here. I do not really like this one, but this is what we have. I like an ORCAD way a little better. But anyway, I place a wire from this pin number 1 to the VCC, and then from pin number 2 to the ground pin. So I have my this connector done. Uh, if I want, I can move it here. If I want to delete this wire, for example, then I click here and just press the delete. It's gone. Same thing for here, here, and here. There are some other things you can try. For example, I want to copy this resistor and LED. I just select this. I do while keeping it here, I press Control C and then I press Control V. I can copy this. To delete this, I select the whole thing and just delete this. This is a regular button that you do in all other circuits. If I want to copy this whole thing again, I just click this and I click Control C and then I do Control V and I can place this. And then you can delete this. Just select and press the delete button. So this is our basic circuit is pretty much ready. The one thing I want to do is we do not still have the register's reference designation. This is R dash, D question mark, and J question mark. To automatically rename this, what you could do is we call it an annotation, and you could do using something called in the tools and go to annotate schematic, and then if I just accept the default value, which is use this entire schematic, or you can do only in the current page only. You can do it to the start X position, could be Y position, and keep existing annotations means do not change the annotations that I already have. So this is probably the good starting position. Otherwise, it will mess up your synchronization with the PCB. If I do annotate, you notice that we have R1 here, D1 here, and J1 here. For example, if I place a symbol called resistor, maybe a couple of more resistors, this one was I already used it, a couple of these, maybe if I copy here this one, if I copy this and then paste this one here, couple of these. Now if I do tools, annotate schematic and choose the default values, you see this annotated R as R2 and R2. So we now have R1, R2, and R3. Those are the three values. So I'm not using this, but just for your information, I just delete it. Another thing you want to do is maybe change this value of this R resistor value. A typical good value could be 330 ohm. That's a good value for this resistor. Now the D1 diode, you could also have some value, something like maybe green LED or something like that. This could be the part number of the header, I don't know, maybe PN0345, some random number QAN, whatever. This defines the part number of this J1 connector. You can go to DigiKey and find the right part number. So with this, our schematic is created, and then you can file and then save it just to be sure about this. So your basic schematic is ready, but you could practice it more and more. This is just very basic, and then I will be covering more in some more videos. Thanks for taking a look.